Guys, it's Tuesday, no sign of Christian, but a miracle has happened. I'm back in Zone 1. Who'd have thought, after about 3 or 4 weeks in Zone 3, I finally made it back into Zone 1. Only just, mind, but it counts, which means our average, of course, would have been in Zone 1 because I went very close to our average. Our average was 22.90.986. And the winner was 22.70.945. So let's have a look. About 20 pixels out, I think, on one, and about 40 pixels out on the Y. So yes, I'm quite happy with that because I now don't have to spend anything this week because I had £1.50 in credit back, and now I'm going to do my free ticket today. I had £1.50 to add the extra £50,000, so I'm not spending any money this week. The only trouble with that is it drops me out of the tiers, so I don't think I got a free ticket next week. I'm going to have to pay real money for one, which is a bit of a bummer, but there we are. Alright, let's have a look at the judging. I've had a quick look at the judging, but I need to look at it again because I don't believe it. Right, so here's the judging. Now at first I couldn't figure out. Now I'm colourblind, so crosses, the colours don't stand out very well for me. I've got to look for them, especially on a dark background. And I saw that white cross there, and I thought, that's strange. That's usually marks, the sort of current average before they take anything out. How is that all the way over there? Then of course it dawned on me. Then there's lines drawn up here. That's when I realised there's a cross there and there's a cross there. And I keep looking at the picture and I think, how? How on earth could you put a cross there? The only way they could have put crosses there is if they've gone by this player that we referred to as a jockey last week. They've gone by this player. But to go by this player and draw a line up from his head and assume it's up there, you have to ignore this player over here on the right and this player down here on the left. You have to ignore their eyesight altogether to be that far left. Now, the other 6 judges are all in a bit of a cluster over here, which makes sense because we were all around that same area. I think every one of us was in a similar cluster to where this is, but more of us, of course. So when 2 judges that our winning and our money depends on can possibly think that the winning cross could be over here, you've got to call into question, right, their ability to be judging this every week. That's you've got to call it into question because this week those 2 crosses are absolutely insane. It makes no sense at all. The only way you could do it is by ignoring the 2 players whose eyes you could see, because the cluster was all over you and everybody else could see that. So let's skim it forward then. They've obviously got to take them 2 out. That's just plain ridiculousness. Is that a real phrase? I don't know. Ridiculousness. And then that average there is going to have to come into the middle there. Which indeed it has. We're down to the last 6 judges there. It's quite a nice little cluster there. More of a cluster on the right hand side with there. But if you look in there where that winning cross is from the angle of this guy here, then Andrew was right last week. And he said that the eyesight was going from him and was following the line of the tiles. Not exactly in a line of the tile, but the same angle as the tiles were going. And he was spot on there. Fair play. Well done, Andrew. Right, let's have a look at this week's picture then, because it's confused me. I've had a couple of goes at it, and I've put 3 different crosses in so far. Right, these are my 3 attempts. The first one was, I think, the one on the left there, which I did last night. The second one was the bottom one, which I again had another go at last night. But then when I come back to it earlier on, when I finished work and logged into my own laptop and had a look, and I thought, right, let's think about this more logically. If I look at this guy in the background, I think he's just been added in there. So if we look at these 2 Arabian princes here, then I'll draw a line from Aladdin, from his eyes. In fact, his right eye is basically a marble, but his left eye, we can see it better. I've gone that sort of area because he's not looking too high or too low, and I think he's looking in line with his ears and his nose, basically in line with his head then. So I've gone along that sort of area. If I zoom in on his eye a bit, it sort of makes sense to me. When I look at the guy in front of him, he's looking quite steep, but he's not looking over his own head. So it's got to be to the left. So I've ended up in that sort of area there. Can't really tell what Jafar is doing over here because he looks like he's looking at this guy's elbow who's smashing his mate in the head. So I'm going to take out the other two crosses that I don't think are replay that one and replay that one. So I'm left with that one cross now because the more I look at it, even though I don't think it's perfect, it is in line with this guy because I don't think he's looking down at all. His eyeball's hard to tell, and he seems to be looking to his left because you can see the white of his eye on the right hand side. It's difficult to tell from the marble in his other eye where he's looking. I can't really use that one much. And this guy, like I said, I think he's looking quite steep, but not over his own head. So I've gone there for now. I might go a bit further left, who knows. But yeah, I don't think this guy's much use on the left because he seems to be looking too low. So that's where that cross is. That's my first one of the week. Well, it's my third one of the week, but it's the first one I'm sticking with for now. And that's 2285 1587. I'll put that in the comments. So do what we do every week then, guys. Let me know how you got on and leave me a coordinate for Saturday's video so we can have a look where we think the average is. Because to be fair, we finally got it back in zone 1 this week. So it was a pretty good average. Right, Revcomps it is then. I'm not going to go over what I've done for Thursday's draw, or not through all the cars anyway, because we've already done it. But basically, I've got one on this Audi because there's 75 grand cash alternative, so I'm having some of that. Got 3 tickets on this camper van because that's what I want, and I had 1 ticket on this Volkswagen Tiguan because that would replace my car. So last night they put next Mondays on there, so let's have a look at those. Now, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but there was nothing here that caught my eye. M5 competition, which is a V8, not interested. I do like these Toyota Yaris's, GR Circuit, I'd love to have a go at that. I know people want tickets on that straight away. Range Rover Sport, too big and heavy and thirsty, unreliable and always getting stolen. I do like Porsches. This one's 13 years old, wouldn't be practical for me. The motorhome, I've thought about. I thought about getting tickets, and then I thought, you know what? I know it's a new motorhome and it's lovely and everything, but it's 7.5 meters long. I've got no way I can keep it, so it would have to go into storage. But that would mean then I'd have to keep my car as well to get back and forth to it in the storage. And what I want is a camper van that's small enough to get around the back lane, park in my parking space, and I can use as a car as well. Because I don't use my car from Monday to Friday. I work from home. I can use it on the weekend to go joyriding. Then there's this Audi A4. I do like them, but that's a petrol, 2-litre petrol, so that's probably a bit gutsy as well, and doesn't make sense to replace my car with that. This was the other one that caught my eye, this Range Rover Evoque. Now I do like the small Evoques, the small Range Rovers, because they're quite reliable. They're a 2-litre diesel, and I like them. This one's got a tow bar on it. And I thought, oh, that would make sense, because I could get a caravan, tow a caravan. But then what put me off was that it was a 2-door. But then I thought, well, most of the time I'm on my own in a car anyway, so why am I not bothered? 4-door wouldn't make any difference to me. But, being a Range Rover, I am hard about it again. And then I thought, well, at the moment then, I've got nothing I'm going to buy a ticket for next Monday. And I can't do that. I can't not be in the competition. So I came to the conclusion that I would probably just buy 1 ticket on this Range Rover Evoque, just to be in the competition. There's only 5,000 tickets to sell in, and it's £6.27 a ticket for the next day and 6 hours until the early bird price ends. So I'd probably just have 1 just to be in it. Because tonight is the giveaway, guys, draw for the Volkswagen T6 camper van and £1,000. Now that's the van that I really liked, and I think this draw's about 8:30 tonight. They did jump to 10 o'clock at one point, but I think now they've put the draw times back to about 8:30, which makes more sense. So I'll be expecting them to phone me tonight, and they're based in Edinburgh, so hopefully they'll deliver this by the end of the week. I know I'm sounding confident, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this. I'm sure I've said that before too. In fact, I'm planning on 2 wins this week. I'm going to win this tonight, and then Thursday on Revcomps, I'm going to win one of the prizes on there as well. So it's going to be a good week for me, guys. I'm winning twice this week, he says. Famous last words. Alright then, that's it. Let me know how you got on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure a lot of us did well this week, because there was quite a few people were already in a tight cluster with the way the average was, and quite a few people were going near the average. So I'm expecting there to be a few replies saying that people had won closest car and runner-up prizes. But there we are. Leave me a coordinate then for the weekend, and let me know how you got on. Thanks everyone, and good luck.